Hi everyone, I'm Rosa Jones, a flight attendant with United Airlines. Ever wondered what happens when a toxic stepmother becomes so obsessed with control that she's willing to sabotage her stepdaughter's birthday? Well, buckle up because that's exactly what happened to me. This story will show you just how far some people will go to maintain their grip on power. I used to have an amazing relationship with my dad, Tom. We were inseparable, movie nights, Sunday brunches, you name it. That all changed 6 years ago when Sarah entered our lives. At first, she played the perfect stepmother, but that facade didn't last long. Rosa, honey, she'd say with her syrupy tone, I think it would be better if we moved the Father's Day celebration to our house instead of that restaurant you picked. Your father prefers home-cooked meals anyway. It started with subtle suggestions that always, somehow, worked out in her favor. Then came Madison, her 21-year-old daughter. Madison turned everything into a competition. Mom, Rosa's uniform is so basic. I'd make a way better flight attendant, don't you think? I have the perfect look for it. As if juggling flights and dealing with Sarah wasn't enough, I started planning my 27th birthday party, a milestone I wanted to celebrate my way. I booked the Sky Lounge, a stunning rooftop venue with breathtaking views of the city skyline. My crew friends were just as excited as I was, especially my best friend Lily. Girl, this is going to be epic, she said during an Amsterdam layover. Finally, a party that's all about you. No Sarah, no drama. But of course, Sarah had other plans. It started innocently enough. Sweetie, don't you think the Sky Lounge is a bit much? What about having it in our backyard? I could make it so special. When I stood my ground, her tone shifted. Your father and I think your guest list is too exclusive. What about inviting Madison's friends? They'd love to celebrate with you. One morning, while I was getting coffee, I overheard Sarah whispering to Madison. Don't worry, sweetie. We'll make sure your friends get invited. Rosa needs to learn she's not the only one who deserves attention in this family. That was the tipping point. Every time I mentioned the party, Sarah's gaze darkened as if she were plotting something. She even started calling my vendors behind my back to confirm details I hadn't approved. My dad, ever the peacekeeper, tried to mediate. Honey, Sarah just wants to help. Maybe let her handle some of the planning. But I knew better. This wasn't about help. It was about control, just like every other family event in the past 6 years. My high school graduation. She changed the restaurant at the last minute. My first job celebration. It turned into a joint party with Madison's college acceptance. The final blow came during a flight over the Atlantic. I received a call from Sarah, her voice dripping with that sickly sweet venom I knew too well. Listen carefully, Rosa. This little party of yours? It's going to be Madison's special night too. Either she's the guest of honor, or there won't be a party at all. I ducked into the galley, gripping my phone tightly. You can't be serious. Oh, but I am. Your father's credit card holds that venue reservation. It'd be a shame if the booking disappeared. My heart raced as she continued. And let's not forget Madison's anxiety. You wouldn't want everyone to think you're excluding your fragile stepsister, would you? How cruel of you. I wanted to scream. Madison's anxiety only ever appeared when she didn't get her way. But Sarah wasn't finished. By the way, what would your airline think if they received reports about your inappropriate behavior with male passengers? Or those photos of you at that club last weekend? A little editing could tell quite a different story to your boss, to your father. I barely held it together as I served drinks, Sarah's threats replaying in my mind. When I landed in London, my cousin Kim called. Rosa, you need to know something. Sarah's already contacted the venue. She told them she's your stepmother and that she needs to make urgent changes to the reservation. What? How do you know? I work at the travel agency that books events for the Sky Lounge. This isn't the first time she's done something like this. Remember Amy's wedding last year? The guest list mysteriously shrank because Sarah threatened to expose Amy's old DUI if she didn't let Madison be the maid of honor. Then my Aunt Kate called. The warning came from Aunt Kate, her voice heavy with concern. Next, honey, be careful. When Sarah was married to my brother, before your dad, she pulled the same stunts. She blackmailed my daughter Beth during her sweet 16, threatening to tell her college about a cheating incident that never even happened. I paced my hotel room, my mind racing when my phone pinged. It was a message in the family group chat. Madison, can't wait for our big party. Already told all my friends about our joint celebration. Another message followed. Sarah, isn't it wonderful? The girls sharing their special day. Then came the final blow, an email from the venue confirming changes to the reservation. The guest of honor was now listed as Madison Williams. I sank onto the bed, tears stinging my eyes. But my phone buzzed again. Sarah, just checking if you've reconsidered my suggestions for our party. I'd hate for anything unfortunate to happen. Little did she know, her reign of terror was about to end. This time, I had a plan. I sent Sarah the text she'd been waiting for. You win. You and Madison can plan whatever you want. Within hours, they had taken over everything, just as I'd expected. Madison simply must make the welcome speech. Sarah gushed to the event planner while I pretended to scroll on my phone. My best friend, Lily, posing as an assistant, quietly recorded every detail with her phone. And we'll need to change the color scheme, Madison added smugly. Rosa's choices are flight attendant basic. Sarah's smirk made my blood boil, but I kept my cool. Every word, every manipulative move was being recorded. Later that week, Madison slipped up big time. I was around the corner at my dad's house when she called her friend. It's going to be epic. Mom's planned this whole speech about how I'm following my dreams while Rosa's just a glorified waitress in the sky. We're even going to play this embarrassing video from her first flight training. She'll never recover. I trembled, not with fear, but anticipation. My phone recorder caught every venomous word. The next day, my dad was in his home office when Sarah and Madison strategized in the kitchen. Thanks to the small mic I'd hidden in the fruit bowl, we captured it all. Remember, sweetie, Sarah said, when you make your speech, emphasize how Rose is never there for family events because of her career. Make her look selfish. What about the slideshow? Madison asked. I've edited those photos from our layover in Miami. No one will believe Little Miss Perfect after they see these. What they didn't know was that my dad had quietly come downstairs for coffee. He stood in the doorway, listening as 6 years of lies unraveled. But the real bombshell came when my cousin Amy paid Sarah a visit, wearing a wire I'd given her. Remember how you handled my stepdaughter Caitlin's graduation? Amy prompted. Of course, Sarah bragged. I used the same technique with Rosa. Threats, manipulation, a little creative photo editing. These stepdaughters need to learn their place, and if they don't, they lose everything, Sarah sneered. Their reputation, their career, their family. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. I'm in charge of this family. Every word was crystal clear on the recording. The day of the party, my phone buzzed with one last message from Sarah. Final run through tomorrow. Don't be late to your own humiliation, sweetie. I smiled, knowing the surprise that awaited her. The Sky Lounge was packed. Sarah, resplendent in a designer dress, grabbed the microphone. The chandeliers sparkled as Madison stood beside her, both wearing identical smug smiles. Everyone, Sarah began, her voice dripping with false sincerity. I want to thank you for coming to celebrate our girls. As you know, Madison has been struggling with anxiety, missing her beloved stepsister while Rose has been away. Across the room, I caught my dad's eye and gave a slight nod. Lily, stationed at the sound booth, pressed play. Sarah's voice filled the venue, cold and menacing. Either Madison's the guest of honor, or there won't be a party at all. Your father's credit card holds that venue reservation. It'd be a shame it got canceled. Gasps rippled through the crowd as Sarah froze, her champagne glass slipping from her fingers. Before she could recover, the recordings continued. Her threats, her schemes, and her admission to sabotaging other stepdaughters' lives. These stepdaughters need to learn their place, Sarah's voice echoed. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. The color drained from Sarah's face as her conversation with Amy played next, detailing every calculated move she had made to destroy others. Stepdaughters' lives. Sarah's voice faltered, but my dad's cut through the silence like a blade. Is this why Caitlin never visits her father anymore? Is this what you've been doing to my daughter? Tom, I can explain, Sarah stammered, panic spreading across her face. Explain what? How you threatened to destroy Rosa's career? How you've manipulated this family for years? The crowd murmured, their whispers like waves crashing against Sarah's crumbling facade. One by one, the truth spilled out. Madison's fake anxiety attacks, the doctored photos, the sabotaged family events. Dad, she's lying. Madison shrieked, her voice sharp with desperation. She's just jealous. That's enough. Dad's voice thundered. I heard you both in the kitchen. I heard everything. Sarah made one last desperate attempt. I did it for our family. These ungrateful stepdaughters needed to be put in their place. But it was over. Security escorted Sarah and Madison out as Sarah's cries about family loyalty echoed through the Sky Lounge. 2 weeks later, karma delivered its final blow. My dad's divorce papers hit Sarah harder than she could have imagined. Last I heard, her country club revoked her membership after learning about her pattern of harassment. Madison, it turns out, had lied about finishing college and was now working retail. As for me, I just made senior flight attendant on international routes. Right now, I'm watching the sunset from my Paris hotel room, planning my next birthday party. My phone buzzes, a notification about Sarah's 15th blocked number trying to reach me. Maybe she wants to apologize or explain. Delete. Block. Au revoir, Sarah. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about breaking free and soaring higher than your abusers ever thought possible. They tried to clip my wings, but instead, they taught me how to fly above their storms. The real gift? I'm finally free to write my own story, and this one has a much better ending. Have you ever had to choose between exposing someone's toxic behavior and keeping the peace in your family? What would you have done in my situation? Played along with Sarah's manipulation to maintain family harmony, or exposed her true nature, knowing it could tear the family apart? I know firsthand how painful these decisions can be. My story might be over, but so many people are still trapped in similar situations, silently suffering under the control of toxic family members. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever dealt with a manipulative family member? How did you handle it? Your experience could help someone else find the strength to stand up for themselves. If you want to hear more stories about overcoming toxic relationships and finding your power, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Each story here is about rising above the darkness and discovering your strength. Let's support each other through these challenging journeys, because sometimes the family we choose is stronger than the family we're born into.